Hello, in this video I'm going to explain the secret of overcoming driving anxiety that I discovered from having been a driving instructor for over 20 years and have also been a therapist for over 7 years. So why is it that nothing works? Why doesn't exposure therapy, CBT, coaching, counselling, hypnosis, driving lessons, nothing works, right? If you're watching this, you've probably done it all and you think there is no solution, nothing works. Well, I'm going to tell you the secret now, and it's something I've said before, but I'm going to explain it in more detail in this video. The secret is that driving anxiety has nothing to do with driving. Now, if you're thinking, I've heard this before, I've seen hundreds of your videos and you always say that, let me explain what I mean by this, because many people will either go to a driving instructor or a therapist for help with the fear of driving. Let me explain why those two avenues don't work. So if you go to a driving instructor, which is what I am, so I'll say this from experience, most driving instructors haven't got a clue what driving anxiety is. They think it's just being scared of driving, or you're just a bit nervous and you just need to get used to it. They don't understand the mind and the subconscious, how fears and phobias form, what they truly are and where they come from and how to fix them. So quite simply, driving instructors have no chance of fixing your fear of driving. And if you think they have, well, you can just keep wasting your time and money on driving lessons, because if you go out with an instructor, you may well feel fine, but then notice how you feel terrible when you're on your own. Why is that? Well, it's because one thing I know that most instructors don't, because when you're with someone, your mind works differently to when you're on your own. Now, it can be the other way around. Sometimes people feel fine on their own and then they're scared with people. I understand why that is as well. Can you work that out? Well, I'll tell you later in this video if I remember. But quite simply, I spent years as a driving instructor and I became frustrated by how I couldn't help people overcome their driving anxiety, because I didn't even know what it was. I used to see people shaking and sweating and I used to think, these people are crazy. Well, no, they're not crazy. It was me that was getting it wrong. So I went to become a therapist. So I trained in therapy. I did a whole course on hypnosis. I got the top award in the UK. And I started working with people who had a fear of driving. And it didn't work. It didn't do anything. Why? Because the one thing they hadn't taught me on the whole course, which is the single most important thing you must know, is the secret I told you at the beginning of this video, that driving anxiety has nothing to do with driving. You see, the reason therapy often fails is because of things like this. This is a therapist script book. So what most therapists will do is when a client goes to them and they say, I've got a fear of driving, they'll go into a book and they'll just look up, fear of driving, and this book's got lots of different things like fear of dentists, tension and stress, and all they'll do is they'll read you a story. This is the worst kind of therapy you can ever do. So they'll say to you, relax, relax, you feel so calm, you feel so safe, and as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you feel more and more relaxed, and you're going, they go on like that for 20 to 30 minutes saying go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. Then they just read scripts. They're just reading a textbook. They'll just say, you are sitting in your car and you feel so safe and you feel so calm, and you get the message in your mind, I can drive. It is rubbish. Do you know why people use these? Do you know why therapists use these script books? Because it's a safety blanket, a safety net, a comfort blanket for them. They want to just get you into a session and they say, okay, I'm going to read this. And they read and read and read. And that's what I was taught to do. But then you take the script book away and the therapist has a panic attack. And I'm not joking. I have been in therapy groups where we do sessions with the instructor demonstrating how to do it. And I've seen multiple therapists whose problem was that as soon as they get into a session with a client, they have a panic attack. Why? because they don't know what they're doing. Script books are just a comfort blanket for your therapist. The way you do therapy properly is the client is the script. So the way I do this is I will read you, not a book. I don't have books. Ask anyone who's ever worked with me. I sit here and I will just talk to people and I make it up as I go. How can I do that? Because I understand the mind and how it works. You see, let's go back to what I said just a few minutes ago. You fear being on your own in the car. That's the problem. Nothing to do with driving. Driving lessons, exposure therapy. Fight your fear. You don't fight it because your mind is giving you a message. You're not scared of the driving. It could be that you're scared of being alone. It could be that you're scared of being seen in public because there's no more public place than a road. You're driving on the road, especially at speed. You're exposed. People are looking at you. Any faults, flaws, negative feelings about yourself are exposed because everyone's looking at you and you won't know this is happening, but it is, subconsciously. So you're wasting your time driving. The driving has nothing to do with it. Many people I work with have a fear of not just driving, but flying, trains, going in shopping centres. If you go to a busy shopping mall and you suddenly have a panic attack, it's the same thing. So that is the big secret. The driving anxiety has nothing to do with driving. What about the other one that I said? Well, I said you might be scared with people, but not on your own. Well, that's probably because you worry about crashing and killing the people in the car with you. So why would you do that? It's not driving. Guess, have a think before I tell you the answer. Why would someone be scared of driving with other people? Well, yeah, they're being watched, but they're also responsible. It can come down to a responsibility thing. Do you like responsibility? Now that's just one way it can happen. But you see how I went from being a driving instructor to being a therapist to dabbling them in both, mixing them together. I've trained in CBT, counselling, psychotherapy, hypnosis. Go and check out my qualifications on my page on my website. I've got a whole list of certificates, diplomas. I went and got the equivalent of a foundation degree in hypnosis. And then I threw it all in the bin because that stuff doesn't get you results. The scripts don't get you results. Understanding how the mind truly works is what gets you results. Now you might be thinking, okay, well that's all great and your journey's great. If you want to find out more about my story, there's a link in the description to my full backstory, my origin story of how I became a driving instructor and a therapist. It's quite a story. That's what sets me apart from other therapists, the passion that I have. How many other therapists have been a driving instructor for over 20 years? I've made over 1,000 videos on YouTube. I've taught over 1,000 people to drive. I've trained hundreds of driving instructors, and my free driving anxiety course has been viewed by tens, probably hundreds of thousands of people. I can say that because one of the videos alone has had over 100,000 views, another one's had over 180,000, several of them have had like 10,000. So the unique views on my videos, it's over 100,000 people have used my videos. Look at the comments, it works. Do it for free. And if you do want to work with me, yes, there is a paid course. There's two. There's an upgraded premium video course and there is a one-to-one course. You can work with me in video calls, one-to-one online. But you see, what I know that other therapists don't is something I can't even tell you because I don't even know what it is myself. If you mix together my years of experience of advanced driving, being a driving instructor, therapy, hypnosis, CBT, teaching people how to be driving instructors, all the things I've ever done, mixed in with my life experiences and the troubles I've been through. I've had trouble with anxiety myself. I've also had, as you can tell there, that was quite handy, speech problems. I've been through surgery. I've put that online for you to see. I don't hide anything. If you mix together all of my experience, that's a potent and powerful thing that no other therapist has. No one can copy what I do because there might be just a therapist or just a driving instructor And sure, there are copycat instructors who are now popping up everywhere. Oh, I'm a hypnotist, I'm a therapist. But it doesn't work. And have they got hundreds of videos like me? Have they got a website with over 100 pages of information? Have they got over 1,000 videos? And yes, there are 886 at the time I made this, but there are over 1,200 actually I've made. Some have been deleted because of music, copyright, whatever. Things change over the years. I've deleted some videos, but I have made over 1,200. So, do you see why what I do is so different to what others do? And if you're being told you just push through, fight your fear, rubbish. You don't fight it because he wants to help you. If you're going to a therapist who is reading a script, it's nonsense. Scripts do nothing. You've got to read the client. I can fix your problem without even knowing what it is. If you want to challenge me to do this, fine. You can come to me and you can say, look, I don't even want to tell you what my problem is. It doesn't even have to be about driving. I only work on driving issues. But if you came up to me at the train station and said, oh, you're that bloke on YouTube, you say you can fix things without knowing the problem. Now, I may not be able to do a full session with you there and then, but I could say, yeah, okay, you've got a problem. Yeah, don't tell me anything. That's all I need to know. You don't have to tell me anything. And if you want to talk, I've trained them as well. Conversational hypnosis. I can use that and I can help you access your subconscious through a normal conversation. It's not like lie down, relax, relax, relax. Yes, I could do all that, but I've gone way beyond that. I can also just talk to you. I made a video 6-7 years ago showing me from 2016 using hypnosis in the car with the pupil. I've been using hypnosis with pupils in the car since 2008. That's when I first started getting into all this. My experience is unbeatable. I am unrivaled in what I do. So you see, the secret to overcoming your fear of driving is all of those things mixed together, put into a convenient course for you. I've taken complex things about the mind and scrunched them down into little stories you can listen to. And if it doesn't work, and there's loads, I think there's at least 10 hypnosis tracks in my free course. There's 400 videos on how driving anxiety works. There are mini courses. I think there are 5 or 6 mini courses, an 8-part course on how to fix fear of driving. There's a 10-part guide on how your mind works, a 4-part guide on how to hypnotise yourself. You show me anyone who's done that much for free to help people overcome the fear of driving, and that's what makes me different and what gets results. Check out these other videos of mine on the screen now. If you want to work with me or see my courses, check out my website, firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.